okay. Jane just started talking to me as I was about to go live. Yes, Aid, if you're positive it's all alright. Sure, do your work. Do your job. Right, trying to look if I'm where I'm supposed to be. Hi again if I've already seen you this morning. We had a monthly meetup this morning, which was fab. And then I came outside to this sunshine. Bear in mind we were freaking freezing in the room. But it's beautiful now. But then we tried to get home and our roads closed because there's been an accident with a pedestrian in a car, or an incident. So that's really sad and horrible because it's literally just a few doors down. So we're here. If you came this morning and you're watching, come and say hi. Some of this stuff is inspired by some of the stuff that we've talked about this morning, which I love because even while I was talking this morning I kept telling Jade some things to write down of stuff I want to talk about going forward, because I love how people say things and it sparks my idea of, oh, I could teach that, I need to teach you that. So today is about building your reputation and your KLT, which breaks my brain because KLT means know, like, trust, but it doesn't sound like a K, it sounds like a N, so I can't say KLT, it hurts me. Jane's absolutely wetting herself right now. So yeah, building your reputation, know, like, trust in business, and in this world that is cluttered in conformity, we get to be different as small business owners. We get to behave in a way that we want to, that our customers like. So building a reputation and fostering genuine connections is the most important part of running your business. If you don't form genuine connections, your business won't go very far, because as a small business that matters to your customers. As you get bigger and with big corporates it changes completely, but as a small business this bit's so vital. And reputation is not just a word, it's the core, the essence of your brand. And it's not built on shiny brochures and perfect pages. It's built on your consistent actions, your transparency and your authenticity. I did a whole training this morning on credibility and building credibility, and these were 3 of the kind of key things that go into credibility. So yeah, consistency, transparency and being authentic, being really genuinely who you are in business. So know, like, trust is kind of the bedrock, the base of meaningful connections. So the idea is around someone has to get to know you or know about you, then they build up to liking you, then they build up to trusting you, which is where sales happen for your business. And it's not about algorithms, this is all about being completely real and creating familiarity, likability, and then ultimately the trust that you're looking for. I've got my door open, so if you keep hearing someone's dogs barking, sorry, they're not mine. What I see happen in business a lot is when people start trying to work in this zone, is we start seeing scripts come in or ways to behave that are very predictable, and we're copying stuff we might have learned in our past jobs, and it's a bit of a problem again in small businesses. Authenticity is where we need to be. That doesn't mean you can't have copy and paste answers for things, but they must sound like you. They mustn't sound like a copy and paste answer. I am all for systems and processes and getting stuff in place, but overarching all of that is they must sound like you. You must have written them. Hi again, Karen. It was lovely to see you this morning. I kept stroking Karen's hair because she's just got the longest, beautifulest hair ever. So this idea of ditch the script, don't have something that you say to everyone, because you can feel it. You know as a customer if the person you're dealing with understands you and wants to get to know you and is listening to you. And your reputation that is built on all of this is it's beyond the transactions that are in your business. It's not just a collection of transactions. This is a story told by your clients and customers in their referrals, in the way they speak about how you help them in their business, how you, whatever it is that you give them. But it's their story, and your goal as a business owner is to turn your clients and your customers into brand advocates, people who are actively talking about how how they work with you, that wants to refer people to you. And that's like that whole ripple that spreads out. It's really, really important. So part of this is storytelling. Understand that stories, so statistics are used a lot of the time, and statistics might capture my attention. They're a hook that might pull me in. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and then I've forgotten about it. I've forgotten the statistic, I can't remember it, I can go back and look it up. Stories are really different. Stories appeal to us on a much more emotional level, and we remember stories. It's why they're so powerful. We remember stuff that people have told us, because storytelling creates an emotional connection. And how our brain works is every bit of information you take in is filtered through the emotional side of your brain first before it goes over to the logical side. So if you can create emotional connections, like, you've already stuck in their brain, and that's just so important. We're not just selling products or services, we're narrating stories of how we can help our customers. Like, what can we do for them that they need? And so if we move on to the trust part, I asked a really interesting question this morning, and I said, are you someone who gives trust freely, or you hold trust back till it's earned? And generally the room split. In this session there were much more people who said they give trust freely. I also said if I do that question in a room full of men, it's a really different skew. Men are far more likely to hold their trust back until it's been earned. And it's obviously a massive generalisation, but in essence that's absolutely how it tends to follow. But with a customer, customers don't just trust you implicitly. You do have to earn that trust from them. And we embrace transparency. We want people who are open and honest. That's a really big part of it. And we share, I talked about vulnerability and authenticity, how important being vulnerable is. We share our successes, but we share our failures, or the stuff we don't like that we do, or the bits of the business that don't fill us with joy, but shows they help magnify the bits that do. And we get to share all of that, and it's the moments of openness that you have with your customers that trust isn't just built, it's like fortified, it's reinforced, and being able to let people into your journey is a massive part of building your know, like and trust as a small business owner. This advice may change, does change, if you become a bigger business. So in a world where people have limitless options basically now, if somebody wants business coaching, there are freaking hundreds of thousands of us knocking about. In a world of billions of options where people are drowning in them, know, like and trust is the one thing. That is the one thing that will make people choose you over other people. People choose businesses that they know, like and trust. They choose people that they know, like and trust. It's not just about transactions, it's about creating relationships that like stand the test. If a customer's leaning into you and you can accept that and kind of give them what they need, that's where you're building this stuff. So it's on you as a business owner to craft your reputation that speaks volumes for you, that talks about you in advance. And my one last little point is we often tend to think that we build reputations based on the price of our services, and it's not true. I have lots of disagreements with women in my club at this point who are underpricing for their services because that's what the market dictates, but it's not about that. It's about the value that your ideal customers place on that. I talk freely about, like, I deliver a load of sessions for Clown Enterprise. He could get, Paul, who owns it, runs it, could get someone much cheaper than me to deliver them. However, I've got a reputation. He knows I will always be on time. He knows I will be prepared. He knows we'll have a good session. He knows I know what I'm talking about. He doesn't have to worry about any of that stuff. So my reputation builds me the relationships, and that is what you're fighting for in Know, Like and Trust. Okay? Any questions? Let me just check if anybody else is on, but I think it's middle of the day and a bit weird. If you're watching this on replay, drop me a hashtag replay and let me know if you want to know anything else. Otherwise, am I back next week? Who knows? I never know. No, I'm not back next week because we've got Power Up Day, which is our big planning, quarterly planning session for the day. So I'm not back next week, and then I believe it's Easter. So I'm not sure when I'm back for lives, but I might pop on and do one in the Easter holidays, because we've got so much stuff coming up. Alright, love you and leave you. I'm going to enjoy the sunshine as soon as I can finish this last bit of work that Jay's making me do, and I will see you as soon as I can. Alright ladies.